Hi, this is Lori. I wanted to record a video that helped explain the Cumulative project. So I'm here in the Lessons folder. I'm going to open the Cumulative project and take a look at the assignment. So the goal of the project is not to do a heavy-duty research paper, not to find out everything that you can about the topic you've chosen, but it's really to use a variety of sources to gather information at different levels of detail. Some sources will be meant for professionals and have a lot of detail. Others will be meant for the general public and have less detail, but the real goal is to practice using a variety of different kinds of sources and to pull out some key pieces of information and create a general overview of a topic that you're going to present to your classmates to just help them understand that topic a little bit more and see why it's important. So we'll be using high quality, reliable sources. And we'll also be talking about why each source is credible, so you'll be doing that for each of the sources that are going to be included in your reference list. You're going to be citing those sources inside the text of your document and in the list of references as well. So in your online wiki, what you'll be doing is having an introduction that describes what the project is about and why it's important. And then you'll also be finding an example of some kind of group, some project, some program that is working to fix or further your particular topic. So for example, if you were interested in drugs and recidivism, you might look at Washington State's drug court to see how that is trying to turn the tide of having people re-enter the criminal justice system after they've already served their time. In the future prospects section, you might describe what's going to happen for this issue in the future based on some of the information that you read, or you might bring some other information in that maybe is related to the topic that you've examined. So again, if it's about drug court, maybe it's not the future of drug court. Maybe it's talking about some success stories that have come out of drug court. You also put a description of how you research this topic, so that would be using whatever keywords came in really handy, the databases that worked well, highlighting specific sources that were really good, and maybe pointing out some things that didn't work so well that you would suggest another researcher not do. You'll also be creating a list of sources in APA format at the end of the document, and for each source you're going to write an annotation that describes why you chose that source and what you learned from it, why it's credible, and a little bit about how you found it. Somewhere in the text of your paper you're going to be using two in-text citations, which will be verifying and crediting the information that you're putting in the document and tying it back to the author who wrote that. So I'll be asking you to choose 4 sources for this project. It's okay if you want to use some more. Use at least one book or encyclopedia, which we're finding in week 1, a trade or professional or scholarly article, which we'll be finding in week 2, a government or agency website, which you'll be finding in week 3, and then another source of your choice. It could be one of those sources, an extra of one of those types of sources above, or it could be a video, a documentary, a TV program, any of those kinds of things, an interview. Here's what you'll put in each annotation, which I already referred to. And as far as the sustainability piece goes, what I'd like you to do is pick topics that in some way you can frame around whether that thing is sustainable, which means it's really going in the right direction. We're using our resources wisely and trying to keep things going in a positive direction. So for example, prison gardens, water recycling, maybe it's fuel efficient cars, or pick something that's not going so well that needs to change. So for example, school violence is on the rise. How do we look at some projects or programs that are working right now to try and lessen school violence? There's due dates down below here. Each week for our homework, we'll be choosing one type of source and posting that source to the wiki. I also would encourage you to take notes and add it to the different sections in your wiki. I won't be grading those sections until the end of the project, so that space is yours to work with and take notes. The completed online document is due Monday of week 4. And finally, each student will post comments to 2 other students' projects, and there'll be more directions about that in week 4. Next, we'll be looking at how to sign into your wiki, and I'll be seeing you later. Thank you.